You're a Toastmaster, and you've reached the stage now where you feel that you're good enough to present to audiences outside of Toastmasters. This is what you've been aiming for all along. Now the point is, what are you going to speak about? What do you think audiences outside of Toastmasters would like to hear? They're only interested in one thing. How can they benefit from you as a speaker? Now, when I talk about benefit, even if you're only going out to entertain them so that they can be enthralled by your stories or laugh at what you've got to say, that's benefit to them. It could be something else, some specialist knowledge which you have, which is important to the average man and woman in the street. This is what you need. You need a subject or subject matter, and it has to be important. The other thing that you need to remember is that in Toastmasters, the emphasis in most clubs is on the 5 to 7 minute presentation. 5 to 7 minutes. When you're a guest speaker outside of Toastmasters, 5 to 7 minutes is no good to you. You've got to be able to speak for far longer than that. Now, I know a person who I introduced to audiences outside of Toastmasters who's simply strung about 4 or 5 to 7 minute stories, one after the other, and still managed to entertain audiences and entertain them well. So you can do that. I advise against it. I think that you need something which really appeals to you, something that drives you, some purpose in your life that you want to tell others about. If you have that sort of presentation and it's of importance to other people, then use that. Main point to remember is, outside of Toastmasters, when you are the guest speaker, whether it be at a Rotary Club or a National Seniors Club or a professional group, they expect you to be able to speak for the appropriate time. In Rotary, Lions, service clubs where they're having a dinner in the evening, probably 20 minutes to half an hour is enough. If you're a keynote speaker at a big conference, they want 45 minutes, 50 minutes, something like that. So you need to be able to put together a presentation which will hold the audience. Perhaps put in some audience interaction. Get them involved. But you need a presentation which will go the distance. Once you've got that, you only need one. When I went outside of Toastmasters in 1982, I had one story only. But it did go for 40 minutes, and that was enough. That was enough. So get together one story, make it, say, from 40 minutes to 50 minutes long, rehearse it, and get it ready for that big presentation, that first presentation. If you can, then you can perhaps modify it to a shorter version so that you can speak to the same story for 30 minutes or 50 minutes. You know what to leave out, what to put in. The essentials have to be there. I hope that this little presentation, Readying Yourself number 2, will give you an emphasis or give you an idea of just how important it is to be able to go the distance with a presentation when you're speaking outside the Toastmasters environment.